I'd like to introduce you to the EcoTech HRT110 pedestrian brush cut mower. This is a machine that we're seeing really growing in popularity, and it's proving really popular. We're finding with small holdings, with river keepers, contractors, private estates, any type of application where you're going to be mowing long grass, brambles, saplings, that type of thing. It's a perfect machine for your task. As with all EcoTech machines, it comes fitted as standard with a Honda. This has got the 𝗔𝘃𝗶𝗹𝗯𝗹𝗲 engine, so you've got plenty of power there. It really packs a punch. You've got a nice large deck here on the front, so it's 65 centimeters wide. It'll take a large volume of material through there. And if you just look down here, you've got these skids which not only offer protection to the deck, but they just help it to follow the contours of the ground nicely when you're operating with the machine. You've got a double cutting system with swing tip blades, so this offers protection. If you do hit anything really substantial such as a tree stump, you've got protection there, which will ensure that you get a good life out of the blades and out of the machine itself, and you don't get any lasting damage, that we don't want. So yeah, the double cut system, basically the bottom blade will cut the material, throw it upwards, and the top blade will mulch that material down and really give you a nice quality of cut coming out of the back of the machine. We've also got a nice open fronted deck. So we also offer flail mowers, which tend to offer a more closed off option. They do have their place for mowing in high grass applications, things such as that, but this is really specifically targeting people who need a machine that's versatile. So it's doing your high grass, but it's also going to be able to do those brambles, as I mentioned. And what we need with that, if I just walk round to the back, is we need the ability to be able to rock this machine upwards to drop it down on top of that type of material. And with the blade cutting horizontally, what we find there is that it will cut across the material. It doesn't have that tendency to wrap round as it can do with a flail. So that's why we would particularly push a customer down the route of a brush cutter if they're doing bramble type material. Coming round to the back of the machine, you've got a nice large fuel tank here on the back. You've got adjustable handlebars, so you can adjust them. There's three nice positions there to suit. And then here we have our drive levers. So what makes this machine a really nice machine at a good price point is the fact that it's actually hydrostatic drive, where a lot of our competing products in the market they're a manual drive transmission, meaning that every time you want to change speed, you want to change gear, or you want to go into reverse, you've got to physically stop the machine and move a lever. With this, you don't have that problem, so that means you're going to increase your productivity, and also it's just a nicer machine to use, really. So we have an adjustment here for your speed, so we can adjust, we can go as slow or as fast as we want, depending on if we're working in, say, a restricted area and a tighter area, in a woodland, for example, where you might just want to inch it around a few trees, or you're working in a new plantation area. But then if you're working in an open space, we can really crank the speed up and we can get on and get some mowing done, which is all important. Time is money, as they say. When you come over here, you then have these two levers. So you've got this one to the left. So if you pull this lever in, that will steer the machine to the left. And if you pull this lever in, it will steer the machine to the right. So it's nice and simple. Here we have our transmission engagement. So we must pull this in to be able to actually maneuver and move the machine around. And then here we have the blade engagement lever. So if at any point the operator did get in a sticky spot and they needed to, get out of the way of the machine, they just let go and everything will just cut off straight away. Your blades, the drive, everything will just stop. So it's nice and safe.